The Clone Wars, the full-scale galaxy-wide conflict between the Galactic Republic and the Confederacy of Independent Systems, saw countless battles between the Republic's Jedi and clone troopers and the droid armies of the Confederacy. Although there were a number of devastating and bloody battles that took place over the 3-year conflict, one battle stands out as particularly deadly for the Republic's Jedi and clone trooper forces, the Battle of Jabiim. In this video expose, I will describe the Battle of Jabiim that took place during the Clone Wars and explain why this battle deserves the title as the deadliest for the Republic, given the heavy casualties that were sustained, both by the Jedi and by the clone troopers. Taking place on the Outer Rim planet of Jabiim, roughly 15 months after the Battle of Geonosis and the start of the Clone Wars, the catalyst for the Battle of Jabiim was a civil war that erupted on the planet after a group of Jabiim nationalists orchestrated a coup against the Jabiim Congress and its pro-Republic constituents. The Republic decided to intervene in the civil war in order to protect the vital resources that it was receiving from the planet. Intervention was deemed to be necessary, as the Separatists were supporting the anti-Republic Jabiim nationalists with weapons, supplies, and credits. Desperate to preserve its economic interests on the planet, the Republic decided to retake Jabiim through force. Having secured a stronghold at Shelter Base, the Republic forces launched a number of attacks against the entrenched defensive positions of the Separatists. The Republic won a number of early victories, as they were able to make significant gains on the planet and successfully push back numerous Separatist positions. However, allowing the Republic to obtain these early victories was part of the strategy of the Separatists to divide the forces of the Republic and push them to overextend their resources. With the Separatists having kept their elite battle droid and nationalist commandos in reserve, they were ready to strike at the vulnerable Republic stronghold at Shelter Base. On day 21 of the Battle of Jabiim, the Separatists launched a full-scale assault on Shelter Base. The battle for Shelter Base was a definitive victory for the Separatists, as the stronghold was destroyed by the fighting, and the Republic sustained heavy casualties to their Jedi and clone trooper forces, including 2 Jedi generals and a number of Jedi Padawans. Their defeat at Shelter Base was the beginning of what was to become a disastrous and bloody campaign for the Republic. To make matters worse for the Republic, not only did they have to contend with a very dangerous contingent of Separatist and Jabiim nationalist forces, they were also entirely unprepared and ill-equipped for the dreadful conditions on the planet. The heavy storms and the muddy conditions that they created not only caused the Republic's heavy walkers to become bogged down and vulnerable in the resulting mud, but they also significantly hindered their ability to provide orbital and air support and made their radio communications and sensors relatively useless. Over the next week after the Republic's defeat at Shelter Base, the Separatist forces had turned the tide of the campaign and started to make significant gains on the planet. One serious defeat for the Republic at this time was Jedi General Norcuna's defeat near the city of Cole, wherein Norcuna himself and the entirety of his clone troopers were completely eradicated. By day 30 of the Battle of Jabiim, the Republic had experienced disastrous casualties, with 18 Jedi and over 9,000 clone troopers having been killed in action. In the ensuing days of the battle, the Republic would go on to suffer further heavy casualties. Their assault on Razor Coast, wherein a Separatist stronghold containing their headquarters was located, ended in a Republic victory, but at the cost of a high rate of casualties to the clone trooper forces. Following the death of Jedi Master Leska and the defeat of her task force at the hands of the Separatists, leaving the forces of the Republic leaderless and in chaos, it was decided on day 37 of the conflict that a full-scale evacuation off Jabiim was necessary. However, an evacuation would not come easy to the Republic, as Separatist and Jabiim nationalist forces, who'd been reinforced by strong droid army contingents, were advancing upon the new Republic fortification and stronghold at Cobalt Station. In order to protect the Republic forces and delay the Separatists until the evacuation could begin, a battle group was formed consisting of the remaining clone troopers and a small number of Padawans whose masters had been killed previously in the conflict. This battle group held out against a significantly more numerous Separatist army for 5 days, and succeeded in delaying the Separatist forces, thereby allowing the primary Republic force to be evacuated off Jabiim. However, as the battle raged, the Padawans protecting the Republic evacuation ultimately fell to the attacking Separatists. Every Jedi, a total of 8 Padawans, were dead by the end of the 5th day of fighting, with the only surviving Padawan being Anakin Skywalker, who on the orders of Supreme Chancellor Palpatine had departed the group of Padawans to lead the evacuation efforts. On day 43, the evacuation ships of the Republic arrived. However, in one final act demonstrating how disastrous the Battle of Jabiim had been, there were not enough ships to evacuate both the clones and the pro-Republic Jabiim loyalists who were desperate to escape the planet in the face of the guaranteed reprisals that would come against them, with the Separatists now in control of the planet. With the ability to only pick one, Anakin chose the clones, and left the loyalists to face the consequences that awaited them on the planet. Having been betrayed, the Jabiim loyalists cursed Anakin and the retreating Republic forces. The Battle of Jabiim was a disaster for the Republic, as they suffered a grievous defeat against the Separatists at the cost of severe casualties. By the end of the 43 days of fighting on Jabiim, the Republic lost a total of 27 Jedi, including a handful of Jedi Masters, in addition to well over 10,000 clone troopers. Demonstrating just how deadly the Battle of Jabiim was for the clones, an entire battalion, the 43rd Battalion, was completely wiped out by the Separatist attack on Shelter Base, leaving all 660 clones comprising its ranks dead upon the battlefields of Jabiim. So there we have it, why the Battle of Jabiim was the deadliest campaign for the Republic forces during the Clone Wars. We love making these videos, so why not subscribe for more fun Star Wars theories and discussions? Also, if you enjoyed the video, think about giving a like or leaving a comment. If not for me, for Jedi Master Leska.